Alright, so today we're going to learn to divide polynomials, and so we're going to start here with a simple division problem where we have 28x minus 20 divided by 4. Okay, so when you learned about division back in elementary school, they talked about long division, right? You'd put the number you were dividing by on the outside, and then you'd put what you're dividing into on the inside. Okay? And this was our divisor, this is our dividend, and then the answer was the quotient. Okay? The same thing works for polynomials. Okay, so we ask ourselves, how many times will 4 go into 28? Well, that would be 7, right? And then we need this x, so 4 times 7x is what we need to have there. So 4 times 7x is 28x, and if you'll recall from long division, you subtract each time. So 28 take away 28 is 0. And then we're going to bring down our minus 20. So 4 goes into minus 20 5 times, and it's actually minus 5. So you can also ask yourself, what times 4 gives me 20? Okay, so we have 7x minus 5. So negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. But remember, we're subtracting, so negative 20 take away negative 20 is 0. So our answer here is 7x minus 5. Alright, let's check out another one. So we have 5x plus 4 divided by x plus 1. So we rewrite that as x plus 1 divided into 5x plus 4. Okay, this is a little different. We have two terms instead of just one on the outside. So we look at the first term and we say, how can we turn that into 5x? What would make 5x out of that, right? And that would be multiplying by 5. So we're going to put a 5, but we're not going to put it over the 5x because we have two terms we need to come two terms over. So our 5 is going to be here over the 4. And we multiply. 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, so now this is the tricky part. You have to remember you're subtracting the whole thing. So 5x take away 5x is 0. 4 take away 5 is negative 1. Okay, now we don't have anything out here, and unlike with long division that you've done before, we can't put decimals. Okay, so the way we write our answer is, because we have a remainder, we would write 5 plus negative 1 over x plus 1. Okay, because this is my remainder, this is my what I'm dividing by, and this is what I had left over. So negative 1 over x plus 1. Let's see another one. So this would be 2x plus 5 being divided into 10x minus 7. So we look, 2x goes into 10x. Well, I know 2 times 5 gives me 10, and since I already have the x out here, I just need the 5. So I have two terms, so I'm going to put the 5 here over the second term, and now I'm going to multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. And then I write down the x, and 5 times 5 is 25. Okay. And again, I'm subtracting this whole thing. So 10x take away 10x is 0. Negative 7 take away 25 is going to be negative 32. Since I'm out of things to divide by, I'm at the end here, and my answer would be 5 plus negative 32 over 2x plus 5. Okay, that's my answer. Alright, let's look at another. Alright, now we have a trinomial divided by a binomial. Okay, so again, we're going to put the 5x minus 1. Now we've got 15x squared plus 17x plus 4. Okay, so what times 5x is going to give me 15x squared? Well, 5 times 3 is 15. So right here over the second term, right, because I've got two terms, so I'm going to go two terms over, and I'm going to put 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. Okay. Oh, but I need it to be x squared, so I'm going to need to put an x here, because x times x will give me x squared. Okay. And then 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. Okay. And I'm going to subtract this whole thing. So 15x squared, take away 15x squared is 0. 17, take away negative 3 is going to be 20x. Okay. So now I have something to bring down, so I'll bring down the plus 4. And I ask myself, 5x goes into 20x. Well, 5 times 4 is 20, and x I already have, so I just need plus 4. So I multiply. 4 times 5 is 20. Bring down my x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Okay. And then I just want to subtract. So 20x take away 20x is 0. 4 take away negative 4 is 8. So my answer is 3x plus 4 plus 8 over 5x minus 1. Okay, now we have a trinomial divided by a trinomial. So we'll write it out. 5x squared plus 3x minus 2. And going into negative 10x squared minus 6x plus 4. Okay, so 5, to make it a negative 10, I would need negative 2. And because I have 3 terms, I go to the third term, so over the 4, I'm going to write negative 2. And I already have the x squared there, so I'm good to go. So negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And then I bring down the x squared. Negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. And negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So I'm subtracting. So I have negative 10. Take away negative 10 is 0. Negative 6, take away negative 6 is 0. And 4, take away 4 is also 0. So this time, I don't have a remainder. My answer is simply negative 2. Okay. Now, it says, write an expression that represents the length L of the figure. Okay. So it says the area of this shape is 8x squared plus 2x minus 15, and the side is 4x minus 5. Now I know the area of a rectangle is length times width. So I know that 8x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals L times 4x minus 5. Okay, so I want to get L by itself. I want to isolate that L, so I'm going to need to remove this 4x minus 5. It's being multiplied, so to remove it, I'll need to divide by it. Okay. Alright, so now whatever that equals will be my L value. Okay. So I'm going to give myself a little space here, and I'm going to write it out. 4x minus 5. Then 8x squared plus 2x minus 15. So 4 goes into 8 twice. So I'm going to put the 2 there because 2 times 4. I need it to be x squared, so I need another x. So 2x times 4x is 8x squared. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x. So I subtract them. 8x squared, take away 8x squared is 0. 2x, take away negative 10x is positive 12x. So now I look, 4x to make it 12x, I would need to multiply times 3. So 3, whoops, we need a little more space. 3 times 4x is 12x. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, which I also need to bring my negative 15 down here. And when I subtract, 12x take away 12x is 0, negative 15 take away negative 15 is 0, so my answer is L equals 2x plus 3. Okay, let's check out the other one. All right, the volume is this amount, and then they show us L times 3 times x minus 2. Okay, well, volume is length times width times height, so 9x squared plus 3x minus 42 is equal to L times 3 times x minus 2. Right, so this is as simplified as I can get. Over here, I can go ahead and distribute that 3. Okay, so I'll have L times 3x minus 6, kind of in parentheses there. And then this kind of looks like the previous problem. So I'm going to divide 9x squared plus 3x minus 42 by 3x minus 6. So we write it out, 3x minus 6 goes into 9x squared plus 3x minus 42. 3x, well, to get 9x squared, I'm going to need to multiply by 3x. So I get 9x squared minus 18x. We subtract. 9x squared, take away 9x squared is 0. 3x, take away negative 18x is positive 21x. And then we bring down the minus 42. 3 goes into 21 7 times. So 7 times 3x is 21x. 7 times negative 6 is negative 42. And when we subtract, we get 0. So my answer is 3x plus L equals 3x plus 7. All right, so now you need to get going on your dividing polynomials worksheet.